Hello everyone. So let's talk about today's Geeks for Geeks problem of the day. So what is the problem given to us? So we have given a positive integer n and written the nth row of the Pascal triangle. Now what is the Pascal triangle which is given here? So let's see what is the definition of the Pascal triangle. So they are saying the Pascal triangle is a triangle array of the binomial coefficient formed by summing up the element from the previous row. So let's see how we'll come with this triangle. So first initially we have 1, after that we have 1 1, then next row is 1 2 1, which is 1 plus 1 is 2, and then after starting and ending there is a 1. So I'll add the 1 starting and ending, and after that I'll just add this element. So 1 plus 2 is a 3, then 2 plus 1 is a 3. Okay, for next row it is 1 1 here, so 3 plus 1 is a 4, then 3 plus 3 is a 6, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So this how we will get this triangle. Now what is the clear observation we are looking? We are completely depending on the previous row to calculate the next row. So what I will do, I will try to write a code using the previous row. Now how I will use the previous row? Suppose I have this as a previous row. Now how I will calculate the next row? So can I say I will calculate the next row, I will add the 1 here, and after that this the last row. Okay, suppose I have this as a previous row, suppose 1 and 1 is the previous row, and I have to calculate the 1 to 1. Okay, so I can, what I'll do, I will create an one vector. Okay, I will add the 1 initially. While creating, I'll add the 1. Okay, after that I will iterate on the previous row, and I will calculate, I will add only current value and its next value. So what is the current value here is a 1, and what is the next value? Also 1. So I will add these two values, so it will become 1 2, and after that I'll insert the last value in it. If the array go here and if there is no next value, I will add it as it is. Okay, now suppose this is a previous row and I have to calculate the next row. Now how I will calculate? I will create a vector, I will add the 1 initially, after that I'll starting with the previous row, I'll start iterating on the previous row, and I'll calculate the addition of the current element and the next element. So what is the current element? 1, and what is the next element is a 2. So what is the sum? It will become 3. Now this is the current element, this is the next element, it will become 3 again. And what is the value for this? So there is no next element, so I'll add it as it is. Okay, so it will become 1 3 3 1 3 3 1. And similar for the next row, what I'll do, I will calculate, I will initially insert the 1, after that I'll just calculate the sum. So it will become 4, then 3 plus 3 is a 6, and after that 3 plus 3 is a 1, and there is no next value, so I'll add the 1 as it is. So this how I will calculate the each row, and after that each row I'll return the nth row. So what I'll do, I'll start write a code. So let's see, code is very simple. So let's see what I'll do. I'll create a vector with the previous row. Okay, vector of integer as a previous. Okay, let's see. Now what I'll do, I'll just say if n is equal to 1, so I'll just simply return 1. Okay, so this is my first base condition. After that what I'll do, previous dot push back, I'll add the 1 here initially. After that I'll start with the second row, I'll go to the nth row and I plus plus. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll create a new vector in current. For the current row, I'll insert the 1. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll start iterating on the previous row. So I'll start iterating on the previous row. So j is less than equal to previous dot size in j plus plus. Okay, if I plus 1 is less than previous dot size, what I'll do, I'll simply add current dot push back previous of I plus previous of I plus 1. Okay, and if this is not condition, if it's not push, I'll just add the last row, which is 1. Okay, and after that what I'll do, I'll update the row. Now for the next, it will become previous become current. Okay, now I'll return the previous. So let's see it passes all the test cases or not. Okay, so here's something wrong, so the spelling of return is wrong. Okay, now let's see, let's try to solve it. Okay, so this give me the wrong answer. Why this give me the wrong answer? For the n is equal to 1, what I'm doing, so previous is equal to 1 1. Nice. Now current is equal to current dot push back previous plus 1, and if it is not possible, then I just go here. J is starting with the 0 j plus plus. Okay, okay, so here previous of j and previous of j plus 1. My bad. Okay, so here I also want to check that J condition. Okay, so J plus 1 is less than previous dot size, then it will okay. So yes, we get a similar output. Let's try to solve with the random output, which is 7. Okay. Let's see it's matching the expected output or not. If it is, then we'll submit it. Okay, so it's matching the expected output, so I'm going to submit it. Okay, so yeah, it get accepted. So what is the time complexity of this problem? So let's see, this loop is running to big of n time. Okay, so my bad. So big of n time. Now what about this loop? So if you are observing the pattern, so what is the maximum size of the row? It will, for the each I, it is become the I size. Let's see, for the first row, it will become 1. For the second, it will become 2. For the third, it will become 3. For the fourth, it will become 4. For the 5, it will become 5. So can I say at max it will become n as well? Yeah. So what is the worst case? It will run till big of n time. It also run the big of n time. Okay. So what is the overall time complexity? The overall time complexity, if we are going to calculate, so this is the both are the nested loop, so it will become the n into it. So can we optimize it? So, but the time complexity we have given, which is expected time complexity is a big of n and auxiliary space is big of n. Okay. So now how we will optimize this problem? Let's see with the second approach. The first approach is very simple and easy, so you can use that brute force approach. But we always take one optimal approach. So let's see with this example what actually the pattern for this problem. So if I just see it. Okay. So this is nothing but, can I say, the 0 which is 1. Okay. This is 1C0 and 1C1. Okay. Now this is 2. For this I'm saying 2C0, 2C1 and 2C2. Okay. Now see, this is 3C0, 3C1, 3C2, 3C. Okay, 3C3. Okay. Now here, this is 4C0, 4C1, 4C2, and 4C3 and 4C4. Okay. So this is the pattern following by this Pascal triangle. Now what is the 0C0? Is a 1. Okay. If 1C0 is a 1, 1C1 is a 1, 2C0 is a 1, 2C1 is a 1, sorry, 2C1 is 2 and 2C2 is 1. Okay. Now see, we'll just calculate this. So what is the 3C0? What is the, this is nothing but the NCR. Now, which is n factorial divided by n minus r factorial multiplied by r factorial. Let's see, we'll calculate any random element. So I'll calculate the 4C2. So what is the 4 factorial divided by 4 minus 2 factorial divided by r factorial. Okay. Now what is the 4 minus 2? It is, let's solve this. So can I write this as a 4 minus 2 into 2 factorial? Yes, we can. And this is nothing but the 2 factorial and the 2 factorial. Okay. Now this get cancelled. Now this is a 4 into 3 and here is a 2 into 1. So 2 get a 2. So here 2 into 3 is a 6. 6 divided by 1. Okay. So the answer for this is 6. Okay. So let's see. You can calculate similar to the all of this. Now how we will solve this problem? We have to calculate the nth row, and we know the nth row will follow n minus NCR, then NCR plus 1, NCR plus 2 and NCR plus 3. Correct? Okay, we can say. Now I say the n is a 4. Okay, 4CR is a 0. Now can I say 4C 0 plus 1, 4C 0 plus 2 and 4C 0 plus 3 and so on. Okay, now what I am seeing, what I am looking, I have to calculate. Suppose I have NCR. Okay, so I have NCR. I multiply with some values. Suppose I multiply with the x is equal to n c r plus 1. I have to say this thing. So I have to multiply something or I have to add something. So calculate this value. Okay. So what is the NCR, which is n factorial n minus r factorial divided by r factorial is equal to multiplied by x is equal to n c. Okay, sorry, my bad. N factorial n minus r plus 1 factorial and r plus 1 factorial. Okay. If I try to solve it, so these two get cancelled, or x is equal to n minus r factorial upon r factorial upon n minus r minus 1 factorial. Why I am writing this? Because a minus b plus c, I can also write a minus b minus c if I open the bracket. Okay, so this is identity, so I am following this here. Okay, and I'll write r plus 1 factorial. Okay, so this is nothing but x is equal to n minus r multiplied by n minus r minus 1 factorial, and this is r factorial. Okay, and this is n minus r minus 1 factorial multiplied by this is r plus 1 multiplied by r factorial. Can I write this? Why I am writing this? Because I know n factorial is equal to n minus, sorry, n into n minus 1 factorial. Okay, so this is r plus 1, r plus 1 minus 1, it will become r. Okay, 1 get cancelled, so that's why I'm writing this. Okay, so let's see, this get cancelled with this get cancelled with this. So what I left, x is equal to n minus r divided by r plus 1. Okay, now I can see that now NCR, which is the previous value, plus n minus r and r plus 1, okay, multiplied by, you will get NCR plus 1. Okay, now let's try to solve this problem for the n 4C0 4, or I can say 3C0 3C0. Now what I'm saying, what is the 3? So for this the answer is a 1, so I'll starting with the 3C1. Okay, now let's try to solve with the 3C1. So what I'm saying, this is NCR is, what is the NCR? The previous value. So what is the previous value? 1 multiplied by, what is the n minus r? What is the r? R here is a 1. Okay, for the 1 is 1. So I'm saying 1 minus 3 minus 1, 1 plus 1. Okay, so what it will become? 1 into, what is 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So what will be the output for it, for this? So NC0 is 1. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 into 1. So let's check, the answer for the NC1 is a 1. No, it's 3. Let me check what I'm doing wrong. NCR. Okay, let's see if I did something wrong in my formulation. So n minus 1 r factorial, so this is the correct, yeah. Okay, 3C0 is 3. Now 3C1, I can say, okay, nice, my bad, I'll just calculating the wrong thing. So this is n is, I have to calculate 3C1, but how I will calculate? So this is the 3C0. Now this is r. What is the r? R for this value. Okay, so what I'll do, 1 multiplied by, so 3 and minus what is r? R of this is a 0, 3 minus 0, and again what is the r plus 1, which is 0 plus 1. Okay, so let's see, 3 minus 0 is 3, 3 divided by 1 is 3. Okay, so answer is a 3. So NC R plus 1 is 3C1 is a 3. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll calculate for the 3C2. What for the 3C2, what I'll do, 3C1 multiplied by what is 3 minus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So what is the answer for this? So 3C1 is a 3 multiplied by this is 2, 2 divided 2, 2 divided by 2. 2 divided, this is 2, 2 divided by 2 is a 1. So answer is a 3 for this. 3C2 is equal to 3. Why 3? Because 3 into this will get 1. So 3 into 1 is 3. Now I'll calculate 3C3. So for 3C3, I'll add the 3C2 multiplied by 3 minus 2 and then 2 plus 1. Okay, so what happened here? Let's see. So 3C2 value is the 3 multiplied by 3 minus 1, 1. Okay, and if you are seeing, okay, so 3 here, and you have to just calculate 3C2. So 3 get cancelled with this, so it will become 1. So 3C2 is a 1. Okay, sorry, 3C3 is a 1. Okay, I'm calculating the 3C2, and after that I'll just calculating the 3C3. Okay, so this is all about the problem. So let's try to code it out and let's discuss the time complexity of this problem. So what I'm saying, I derived the one formula. I'll just use it out. So for example, I have one previous is equal to previous NCR. I just write previous, or instead of just I'll write a previous. And what is the previous? Previous is 1, or I'll start with the r is equal to 1. Why I'm starting with the 0? I'll tell you. I'll go to the r plus plus. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll just calculate the current. After that, I'll calculate previous multiplied by NC. What I'm doing, n minus r. Now for which r? R for the previous value. So for this NC0, that's why I'm starting with the 0 multiplied by plus divided by. Okay, first I'm dividing now. So after that r plus 1. Okay, and for the next previous, it will become a current. So I'll just calculate for the storing the answer vector int answer. What I'll do, answer dot push back previous. Okay, and after that I'll just answer dot push back previous here as well, and simply I return the answer. Let's see it will work or not. If it is give any error, we'll try to fix it out. Okay, so for this it will become 1 7 7 21 21. So what I did the wrong. Okay, so for the previous it will n minus r and then r plus 1, and it will become previous multiplied. So instead of, I'll just write the current here. Will it work or not? Let me check. If it is not, then we'll try to fix it out. If it's not work, okay, r is equal to 0. So let's see, previous is a 1. So previous multiplied by n minus r. Okay, so this is the formula which we derived. So n minus r, so r is the previous values and then r plus 1. Okay, and for this I'll calculate the NCR. So the formulation is correct. So for the 0 to n, what I'll do, I'm just going to, okay, first I'll calculate the NC0, so which is 1. Then after that I still NC1. For the NC1 I have to do this n and this 0. Okay, and the previous value. So I'll going correct, or I'm doing something wrong here for the brackettion. So I'll just remove the bracket. Okay, I don't know, maybe it is giving the error. There might be some chances, I'm not sure about this. So no, it's still going, it's not working. Now why it's not working? Let me check. Answer or pushback current. Yeah, that's correct. For the 7, let's see. 7, let's see. So for the 1, it is for the 7 C0, it is a 1. Okay, now I have to calculate for 7 C2. So what I'll do, 1 into 7 minus 0 divided by what is 0 plus 1 na? Yeah, so it is 1. So let's see what happened. 1 into 7 minus 0, which is 7, and divided by 1. So the answer is the 7. So the answer is correct for this. No, it is giving the 6. Expect output 160. Let's see. Let me check what is the wrong with this test cases. Okay, so let me just check C1C0, which is 7 factorial divided by 7 factorial minus. Okay, so it will give the 7. Sorry, it will give the 1. I'll just want to check the C1 now. 7 factorial. So it will also give the 7. There is no chances. So for this, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Okay, so I'll just calculating the next line. Okay, let me change with the input. So for the 3, what is the expected output is 1441331, but it is calculating, it's calculating 1 to 1. Okay, why? Because, and this is the fourth line, so I have to just go n minus 1 time. So for that I'll just using the n minus 1. Okay, I'll just do the n minus minus. Yeah, now this is the correct. Let's see with the 7, because this is returning the, we are calculating the first row, second row, third row, so that's why this is giving the error. So my bad. Okay, so let's try to submit it out. Yeah, so it get accepted. So what is the time complexity of this problem, which is the big of n? It's running the big of n time. And what is the space complexity? We are just taking the single array to store the answer. So the time complexity of big of n, space complexity for this is big of n, the time complexity for the big of n, and the overall time complexity is big of n, the space complexity of big of n, which meet our expected complexities. Okay, so this is for today's problem. Let's discuss, let's meet tomorrow. Bye for today.